Okay. So from religious robots to righteous reign. Okay. Number four, relationship, discipline, and leadership. We're discussing that today. Relationship leads to discipline and leads to leadership. Okay. Number five, um, isolation, not isolation. Okay. The last one, bold, connected, and respectful. Okay. So I will do a little revision for those of us that are here. Okay. So the thing is this: we started the class by telling us that context for the concept that you see, God has given us a dominion mandate, and it's a fivefold dominion mandate. And the fivefold dominion mandate is that you should be fruitful, you should do multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it, and have dominion. So God actually created the world for man. He said, okay, man should be, the earth should be the man's domain. So he actually sent the man here for the man to do five things. And these five things will give you fulfillment. These five things will make you to become fulfill purpose, destiny, calling, go to the world, be fruitful, do multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it, and have dominion. Dominion means stewardship, management, and leadership in any area you find yourself. So we discussed that the world simply includes industries, corporation, organization, businesses, brands, culture, institutions. So me and you should look at the world and find a niche in the marketplace. Say, I'm going to go here. I will make impact. I will make contribution. I will leave it better. I don't like the people are mistreating people. Let me go and study law, do human rights. I don't like the people businessmen are mismanaging their funds. Let me study accounting. I don't like the way sickness is everywhere. I want to be a doctor, own foundation, own hospital. So there should be some vitality, creativity inside of you that is burning of something you don't like and you want to change. Something that makes you feel bitter. You find an industry, people are so much living in ignorance. They need to be educated. They need to be taught. They need to read books. Let me go here. Let me solve this problem. So because money is simply a reward for solving a problem, meeting a need, finding solution. Money is a reward for making impact. Money is a reward for making contribution. So when you give value in forms of products or services to improve lives and property, to impact the world, the universe reward you back because value commands its own return. So people that are not in this fivefold dominion mandate, they are not fruitful. They only multiply, marry, give birth to 20 children, and thus they don't replenish, they don't subdue, they don't, of course, take dominion. They will remain subject in the face of men when they're supposed to become king. Because in the face of men, there are always kings and slaves, kings and subjects. So the choice is yours, and it starts with your thinking that I don't want to get myself involved in any industry. I want to isolate myself. I want to disengage. Because when you start isolating yourself, you start disengaging. And when you start disengaging, it affects that thing you think, that's your philosophy. Your belief system, your vision, your goals shapes your priority. Your priorities are the key to either prosperity or poverty. People that have become prosperous in life, rich and wealthy, because of their priorities we have. And that priority, our philosophy. How does it come? I said, is your belief system, your values, and your goals. So these are the things that actually make whether somebody become rich or wealthy in life or broke and poor. So your personal philosophy is essentially your own framework for how you see the world. We see the world in three major ways. Number one, how you think, your worldly view. Number two, how you decide your criteria to what is right, what is wrong, what is important, what is not important, what pursuing, what doesn't want pursuing. Why do you pursue certain things and don't? Why do you accept certain things? Because of your philosophy, because of your belief system, because of your values, because of your goals. So how you act your approach to challenges, your relationships. These challenges means your relationship with God, relationship with yourself, relationship with money, relationship with your spouse, with your family members, even church members. So your relationships, your emotional life, your relational life, the way you think. If you think that everything works together for your own good, you will not find problem, you will not find fault. If you think that I'm the poorest person, our family, things are hard, the economy, if you think those negativity, that everything against me, nothing is working for me. I'm not handsome, I'm not beautiful, I'm too short, I'm too tall, I'm too fat. We begin to, all those belief systems about certain things affect the way you think, affect the things you accept, the things you don't accept. So God wants you to be visible, credible, and have authority in a field of favor. That's why He's equipping you with knowledge, information, right set of people so you can invent, influence, impact every industry or institution you find yourself. So that leads us to philosophy shapes your priority. And just a bit of revision, because we start telling us what you believe about God's plan for you as an entrepreneur in this world will determine how you live your life on earth. There are two ways. If you believe that God is done with this world, if you believe that God is not done with this world, because I'm still here. So God sent me here not just to go and preach the gospel, not just to go and be fruitful and multiply and dominate, replenish and dominate. I must also take dominion. So if you believe that God has done with this world, something will happen. You start to disengage. You withdraw from the society. You withdraw from an industry. You withdraw from banking industry. You withdraw from electricity industry. You withdraw from the food industry. You withdraw. Once you withdraw, you start thinking evacuation mindset. You start saying, I want to hold on to heaven. I want to hold on to the last day. Start singing song, pity song. This world is not my own. I'm a stranger. God, take me home. I'm tired. Oh, this world is against me. And that will lead you to your priorities will be frequent, church attendance, which is not bad, but the things that you own now, you don't want to do anything. And that will lead you to go and reduce yourself to a peanut and be applying for, because since you don't want to be creative, someone that is creative will employ you. You don't want to be productive, someone that will employ you. And now paying pay. So you just manage it till the last day. And that thing is simply isolation mindset, evacuation mindset. But if you believe like us that God is not done with this world, that is why I'm here. You know what you do? You will start engaging, you start studying, you start learning, you start creating, making impact, look for influence. As an entrepreneur, you start thinking expansion. Your priority is that you go into business, you start building succession plan, legacy, plan for 50 years, 100 years, 1,000 years, even when you know that you will not live up to 200 years, highest 150, but you start plan for 1,000 years. Legacy, succession plan, leadership, livelihood. Begin to think of how to make a long-lasting impact in this world. Because as a man thinking in his heart, so easy. We ended our class that day and came back the following day and started talking. We discussed so much until yesterday. We started talking about the righteous reign, the religious robot, and the righteous reign. And we start telling us that the only way we can balance this teaching is take you back to 18th century, the agricultural age, how they were enslaving men, and the industrial revolution, how men were now trained to be enslaved to salary wages, that the only criteria and the curriculum was to train men that will finish school and they will use their hand, voluntary slaves, they will use their hand and voluntarily apply for them to be enslaved for 35 years. It was a total programming and a conspiracy of the rich. Until you understand the awareness of things, until you understand when you're aware of something, whatever you understand, you can modify. Whatever you don't understand overwhelms you. People don't understand, so they're being overwhelmed. Because we that pay this salary, none of us pay our staffs salary for them to become billionaires. None of us. The top 100 richest people in the world, 1,000 people that are not employees, they're all businessmen and investors. So the thing is that what they teach them in school, and what they taught me in school was that as you finish school, get a good certificate, get a good job. Me, I went to school, finished 3 years, no job, submitting CV everywhere. At least I wrote over 50 to 100 CV. I went to over 50 to 100 organizations. I've actually applied for this job. I've gone for so many interviews in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt. I've done job interview. I keep hearing, we'll get back to you. And I never heard them coming back. The ones that I got back to me, they're offering me 30,000, 40,000 salary. When I look at the salary, I look at myself, I say, after all, this take home will not take me home. So finally understood, when I begin to ask myself question, what do the rich people really do that they make this kind of money and build this corporation? All of them, they study. And what are they studying? Business book. Personal development books, finances, leverage. They study about leverage. They study about investment. They study about how money works. And I say, okay, what if I follow and read these things? Will I become like them? And 5 years. Okay, why did I say the books? I go buy, keep them, start studying, and start applying. Anyway, I said I'm doing training about personal development, I will show up. Business, I will show up. Investment, I will show up. How to leverage, OPT, other people's time, I will show up. OPM, I will show up. Eventually, my life started working for me. And I understood this thing is not the rocket science. Everywhere you can learn it, because learning, man's capacity to learn is God's gift to man. Help me tell your neighbor, man's capacity to learn is God's gift to man. Tell your neighbor, man's willingness to learn is a man's choice. And my eyes were open. I now understand why the poor is poor. Because the Bible also told us in the book of Proverbs. Proverbs, of course, 1:22c, it says, fools hate knowledge. Fools do what? Hate knowledge. I said, why do people hate knowledge like this? Because they are foolish people. My life started changing. I said, okay, if I'm making 1 million, 2 million, 100 million now, 500, why can't I teach someone else? See the way we are finding ourselves today? Because we are engaging. Tell us, engage. We don't disengage. So a transition is taking place, migration is taking place in the mind of entrepreneurs today, that we are now migrating from the factory school system and factory church system into sonship, into citizenship, and into sovereignty. So we are leaving the old things that doesn't work, that doesn't empower us, it doesn't take us in relationship with our maker, it doesn't put money in our pocket, it doesn't improve us. We are leaving it. If I would like us to write this down on your note, very important. There's a transition going on. There's a transition going on among entrepreneurs. Okay, but there's a transition of teachings and training going on. There's a transition of teachings and training going on right now. We are doing one right now. There's a transition of teachings and training going on now in the midst of entrepreneurs. There's a transition of teachings and training going on. We are trying to wrap up this religious robot and the righteous reign. There's a transition of teachings and training going on. There's a transition of teachings and training going on in the midst of entrepreneurs to move from factory school system and factory church system into three things: into sonship, into citizenship, and into sovereignty. So we are taking back. That's full stop. There's a transition of teachings and training going on in the midst of entrepreneurs, among entrepreneurs, that we are moving from factory school systems and factory church systems into three things: sonship, citizenship, and sovereignty. Let me look for where I wrote it very well here. Sonship, okay? Yes. We are moving from sonship, we are moving into sonship, citizenship, and sovereignty. Don't worry, I will eventually get to that point. Okay, yes. So, yeah, I will get there. Let me just be saying this much more. Okay. There's a transition of training and teaching going on among entrepreneurs, that we are migrating from factory school system and factory church system into sonship, citizenship, and sovereignty. So, okay, don't worry. Let me leave it. We'll get there very soon. I will add flesh to what I just said to you. So, this transition, I don't want to write this one down, but listen to me. We have been covered, marginalized. Don't write this one. Listen to me. I thought the engineer is here now. The thing is getting bad. So the engineer is here, so we should be enjoying this morning. So we have been. Don't write this one. Listen to me. We have been covered, marginalized, stigmatized, unlimited, confined, and defined to religiosity, from faith to morality. And the problem now is that you find, you deep down, you are more than this. But the just I mentioned yesterday, the whole thing has been, don't go here, don't say this, don't do this, don't wear this. All these things are all behaviors. We should be talking about belief, because belief drives behaviors. Belief governs behaviors. So what when we move from this agricultural age into the industrial age revolution, there was invention of steel factories. So there was a need to mass produce people that work in that factories. There's a need for us to produce voluntary slaves, obedient slaves, needed to work and operate the machine just to survive. Therefore, so this was the whole idea about factory school system. The factory school system was that it would mass produce salary slaves, and the objective was that you should be job dependent, you should be blind to opportunities. The same thing happening when it comes to factory trust system, that we are never trained that you will depend on the Almighty through Christ. The pastor program himself, not all the church anyway. Most of them, some of them, they bring third party, olive oil, and no all those things. So you don't think that your salvation is going to depend on those things. No, your salvation is simply accepting the death, burial, and resurrection of Christ and believing in Him. It's a journey of faith. You can see all those men in the scriptures that were in the Old Testament that finally made it to the New Testament, according to Hebrew, were men of faith. He said, by faith, Samson, by faith, Abraham, by faith, what is faith? Strong belief, accepting as true. It's not about the works. Abraham even cheated at some point. The wife brought a maid and he gave birth to, and that's definitely, but the thing that God look at the intent of a man and He judge you according to your thought. So as an entrepreneur, because why I'm teaching this, because we entrepreneurs, we tell people you can entrepreneur, a big man, a millionaire, and when they go back because of the abuse of the religious factory system, the religious robots, the people now hold on to some too many beliefs that sabotage their work as an entrepreneur. So we're trying to make you understand today that you are more than enough, that you are a success, that you are a millionaire already. There's something, even though you are born naked, God deposits something in you, giftings, ideas, talents, creativity. So you need to discover your giftings, your talents, your creativity. Discover it, sit down, discover your own, develop and deploy. Tell them what discover. Tell them what develop. Tell them what deploy. Because you don't even believe yourself, you will not believe anybody. You don't believe us, you cannot believe your product. You not believe, because the relationship you have with yourself determines the relationship with every other person. If you cannot forgive yourself, when you make mistakes, you will not forgive anybody. So we are holding on to yourself. Why me? God, why me? Why am I? No, there's nothing wrong. You are a human being. Human being make mistakes. But don't reinforce failure. Don't repeat failure. We don't reinforce it. You make mistake, fine. You try again. You want to be perfect. Leave perfection alone. The game plan is called consistency. It's not consistency. You see, people that have perfection, that people that quit on things. Because you see that, okay, you made up, you're going to read 1 hour in a day. And you don't read 1 hour, you start beating yourself. Just like you're a human being. You cannot do 1 hour, do 30. You cannot do 30, you do 10 minutes. You cannot do 5 minutes, at least do something. The consistency, once you are in momentum, the momentum is gained when the body is in motion. Yes or yes? Yes. So the more plan is that I know that all I need to do is to be showing up, stand up and speak up as an entrepreneur. If I do something that didn't work out, failure is nothing. Don't see failure like you are the worst of the human being. No. I told you first attempt in learning. Try again. Give it a try. Just keep moving, because in the journey of success, failure is part of it. As an entrepreneur, leave religiosity. Leave these religious robots. Know that you're a human being. What your pastor should do, what my pastor should do, is to connect with my maker, so that I know that I can also talk to God. If I'm not feeling fine, then you teach me, mentor me, discipline, so I can lay hands on myself and talk to myself. I can talk to God. Not if I'm feeling headache, I run to church. I want to win, I don't feel I run to church. Small thing, cockroach, I carry olive oil. Rat, no what bad now. Religious robot don't come problem. Prophecies work, but it's not, if God wanted to do depend on prophecy, He will not give you Bible. God give you Bible so you can study. Tell not study. You can learn. Tell not learn. Most of them don't want to learn. If you don't go to church, you don't read the Bible by yourself. That's the problem. That's why you don't know. Our man and man teaching you a lot of things from the Bible, because I read too. I take a time to read. I do my reading every day, minimum 1 hour. At least before I go to bed, I like to read, write, so that at least I can sleep dreaming those things I read. And it makes my sleep very sweet and sound. Not the one that's every time witches they pursue for dream. Why witches and wizards they pursue poor man for dream all the time? Why? Why do they pursue rich man? At the point that they ask. Why? Because I don't go to 12 in my class today. I don't want to go to certain place today. I don't want to break table. I know what I'm saying. So the primary reason why people go to church is to some people are cloning member instead of helping them to create and do the kind of leaders they want. So the kingdom church means that you should be installed, trained, and taught to think of greatness, to be in the center of influence, a circle of industry. Okay, we've done so much work yesterday. So today we're supposed to start a new class today. Relationship, discipline, and leadership. Write on your notes: relationship, discipline, and leadership. So if your personal philosophy is always relationship with your maker, I told you religion. Of course, God doesn't want to give us religion. God wants to give us relationship with Him. So God wants to have a relationship. Religion is man's ability seeking God. It's a man's effort. Religion is God seeking you. Just relationship. That's God coming to man is relationship. Man looking for God is religion. Just accept that one that Christ came to you. Accept it. So if I let me do my class like this, it will make sense. I will clean this board. That is the only way this class will make sense. So if you are late, so sorry, copy from your neighbor. Copy is allowed. Because that's the only way my teaching will make sense this morning. If not, I'll be dragging to make sure you understand, because we are social creatures. Whatever you see, you can remember. So man learn faster by observation. Then observation. So I'm going to do it like this, so you don't have to rush first. I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3, and I will come here first. I will do A, B, and C. So the first one here is the entrepreneur's journey. The entrepreneurs. Okay. So the first on my list is relationship. Okay. Okay. The second one here. Just follow me the way I'm writing it. Okay. I will make you. That's mentorship, kind of discipline, kind of relationship. Okay. The third one here, leadership. I'll give you the notes, no problem. Just follow me first. Leadership. And okay. So the first one, let me just finish writing everything. Okay. But neglect. Let me just focus on article of faith. But they neglect these three things I'm going to be discussing very soon. Number one, or A here, attitude of faith. Okay. Number two, action of faith. Number three, acquisition of faith. Acquisition of faith. As an entrepreneur, you need these three things. That is territory and influence. Okay, so I'll give the last one. The first one here is the entrepreneur's journey. Anybody that must mentor you must follow the Christ model of mentorship. Follow me, I will make you fishers of men. Following is a relationship, because teaching brings awareness, relationship brings discipline, mentorship brings discipline. Of course, mentorship relation brings discipline. Whatever happens again, community brings wealth. The whole purpose of relationship is so you can become a leader, so you can become fishers of men. It's not just fishers of men, fishers of industry, electricity, oil and gas, telecom, banking industry. Is a mindset. So we that train and mentor, we follow the footsteps. That's you have to stand up, the whole training, teaching, so they can be in charge. So many churches, this is the abuse now. Focus on articles of faith. Don't want to talk about articles. They leave the main thing, which is what? Attitude of faith, action of faith. What faith can bring. Your faith must manifest, and it must be tangible. Tangible of products or services. If I have faith, I'm an entrepreneur. Where are my products? If I have faith, I'm a businessman. What company am I building? So if I tell you I have faith as a Christian, there is no product or service in my hand. That my faith is questioning. Will come. The real. Don't worry, let me finish. I'll give you the notes so that you understand. Okay. Number three here is 1, 2, and 3. They have sub topic. but I want to put it well. When I'm teaching, we'll be pointing the fingers so that you will not forget very, very soon. So through mentorship, through mentorship, through mentorship, I call it discipleship. If I want to call it, I don't have a problem. Is one, citizenship. Here. That is Philippians 3 verse 20. I'm not a pastor. I just try. Man, they try small. Sonship. Don't worry. Just follow me small. Romans 8 verse 4. I just try. Because the only thing is if I talk to you, like I agree. So we can't put that way you agree. If you agree with me, say, God, Christ talks, say, follow me on my hand. Once you agree that one, you agree this one. So at least you don't agree for something. So if you want to argue with me, no argue. No, just copy the notes first. Sovereignty. Revelation 5 verse. Revelation 5 verse 10. So I'll give you the notes now so that we can. Let me give you 2 minutes to write. The whole thing is that on the shortest cut to success is mentorship. So the reason why somebody wants to be in a mentorship relationship with you is because the purpose that you become a leader of an industry, of a craft, of a business, of an institution, president of organization, president of a community, CEO. So we want men to be mentally liberated, to start believing the God's given ability and capability they have inside of them, to take action. So if you've written this down, you are ready for today's class already. Shall I? Okay, so you can start taking some notes now. Okay. Let me start from here. Write it down your notes. The entrepreneur's journey as a believer. The entrepreneur's journey as a believer is from infant to maturity, comma. The entrepreneur's journey as a believer is from infant to maturity, comma, childhood to sonship, exodus to invasion. I'm going to come back. So if you say you want to move, it means here is like infant. It's an infant to maturity. The whole journey is an infant to maturity, where you can lead. Maturity is from moving like childhood. You move from childhood to sonship. I hope you know the difference between a child and a son. A child is somebody you give instruction. They're not instruction. A child is somebody give instruction. You give instruction to a child. A son is one that take responsibility. They're not responsibility. Sons take responsibility. Children collect instruction. Until a child becomes a son, he cannot handle his father's empire. If he's a child, he still be under tutorship. They will be teaching him. So it's from moving from infant to maturity, relationship to leadership, childhood to sonship, exodus to invasion. You know what happened to Joshua? Moses take them out. Joshua take them in to the promised land. So that's what happened. So your journey as an entrepreneur, when you meet a mentor, that relationship is to help you become a leader. Church us say, I'm a leader. That one is begging for the church card. Touch us again, say, I'm a success. I'm a success. You can do better than that. Touch us again, say, I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. So Jesus Christ said to them, follow me, I will make you fishers of men. So the same model that Christ used to raise 12 disciples, the same model Igbo men used to raise their boy to organ. The same model every entrepreneur uses to raise everybody that is mentoring. So you must seek mentorship. And that relationship is to help you become a leader. That is your personal philosophy, is that I must find men who are succeeding in any area I want to become in charge. Let me learn, unlearn, relearn, because there's always something to learn. The first step for you to become an entrepreneur is to cultivate a personal relationship with your mentor, with your maker. You can that gives you the ability, because this whole journey is about this mentorship. Is that you answer to a call, to a process, become a student, to unlearn and relearn. This whole discipleship or training, mentorship relationship, so you can stand on your feet. You become an ambassador of an assignment. You become a citizen. You take a role in an industry to be able to lead and become a true leader. With the end game of this mentorship training is that you become fishers of men, be in the center of influence, shapes your influence, take authority in any area in the marketplace to be in charge. So write it down, like this. Let me try and write up this. Let me give you some note to write up now. Write it like this. What start as a relationship? What start as a relationship? What any business journey that starts as a relationship? What starts a relationship ends up as a leader, as leadership. What starts a relationship ends up as leadership. So the reason why I'm a boy is so that one day I become a man. The reason I'm a child so that I become a boy to become a man. The reason why I went to school is so that I will come back and use my brain to create something, not to do what every other person is doing. So what starts as a relationship ends up as leadership. Full stop. What starts as a personal relationship with your God, with your mentor, will end up as leadership in his name. So everything you're doing will be glory to God's name. So I'm producing a product today, is to the glory of God. I'm employing people today to the glory of God. So that we don't just fulfill the fivefold dominion mandate, which is go to the world, be fruitful, of course, multiply, replenish, and subdue, and take dominion. Stewardship, management, and leadership. So the good news is that my personal philosophy is that I'm going to be in business to learn and observe, so one day I can lead an industry. I'm going to start this personal journey of my financial life so that one day money can work for me. I can buy asset investment. So when you want to start a mentorship relationship with your maker, with your God, with people around you, is so that you collect, you use it, and then what happens is that what comes to you is not really the problem. What happens that the definition that you give to that thing is a problem. Problem is not problem except you call it problem. You see the world the way you are. Everything is neutral, subject to your definition. Tell your neighbor, everything is neutral, subject to your definition. So if you're a right person, everything is right. If you're a wrong person, everything is wrong. If you do wrong thing to the right person, he defines this as right. That God, look at now. Daniel, I'll give you some story. Of course, was sent to these guys, Babylon. So he was selected among the 4 Hebrew men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego plus Daniel. He was selected so that they can train him the way of the pagans. So he did not just go there. He went there as an agent of light, as to go and make a difference. In fact, he was even the land there witchcrafty, so they didn't come Oga. So he did not come and say, why am I here? This place is hard. They are the unbelievers. No, he knows that I'm truly an agent to make a change. Did they actually make a change? Yes. Me and you we are ambassadors of Christ. We are sent to this world and we are here on a purpose. You are not here by mistake. So why are you withdrawing from the world? We are supposed to go to the world to create your product or services in the marketplace as an entrepreneur. Don't worry, I will tie up the knot very soon so that you understand. Write it down, you know, very important. The bridge that links relationship to leader. The bridge that links relationship to leadership is mentorship. The bridge that links relationship to leadership is mentorship. The bridge that links relationship to leadership is mentorship. So you are dodging the process of mentorship in any area of your life. You are refusing the process. And me and you know that without process, you can never sustain outcomes and results. Without process, you cannot be transformed, you'll be reformed. The discipline you form in the process helps you sustain outcomes and results. The bridge between relationship and leadership is what? Mentorship. This is the link between this and this is mentorship. So if you don't want to make all the mistakes in life, get a mentor. So many people, you see, instead of focusing, mentoring you on the attitude of faith, action of faith, acquisition of faith, they focus on articles. Articles means behavior. They focus on behaviors of faith. Don't do. Instead of focusing on beliefs of faith. Beliefs of faith, that is attitude and actions, that is the belief of faith. So you see, the problem now is that we end up in activities, actions, without the assignment. So when you are focusing on articles, you end up with activities without the assignment. The assignment is that we should go 5 dominion mandates, be fruitful, multiply, replenish, subdue, and then also take dominion, stewardship, leadership, of course, management of God's resources. Turn what God give you. Invent it, recreate something. Turn the tree to tables and chairs. Entrepreneurship, improving the value of things. You say no. Because you end up with activities instead of the assignment. That's the problem. I know for sure. So many churches focus on articles of faith. They have disciple program that just focus on the outward behavior instead of the belief system. And that's what sabotage a lot of people for believing in themselves that entrepreneurs. They don't want to do again. And this leads to importing, depending on job, depending on people. So the factory trust system neglect the attitude of faith, action and prediction of faith, rather focus on the activities and actions alone instead of just the assignment. Tell no assignment. Write down your very important. The factory trust system is obsessed with what you should do and not do, and not with the assignment of fivefold dominion mandate. I said the factory trust system is more obsessed. Is more obsessed what you should do and what you should not do, more than the assignment God give you a fivefold dominion mandate. Be fruitful, multiply, subdue, dominate. No, fruitful, multiply, replenish, subdue, and have dominion. That's what you're focusing on. But they just leave that one. And they give a long list of things. Places you can go, places you can, things you can't say, things you can't do, things you can't wear, and turn into a religious robot. And me, I'm tired. Because I know that I want to stop. Because whatever you focus on expands. You say, don't do. You start focusing on that thing. Instead of focusing on righteousness, you focus on sin consciousness instead of righteous consciousness. When you focus on sin, I don't want to sin, you will sin. You want a righteousness that receive the gift of God's gift. So this will help you on your entrepreneurship journey as an entrepreneur. Because most of us here are Christians, so I'm talking to you because these things can make you start. You have several limiting beliefs. I'm not good enough to be in charge, and that means to start losing your identity as a human being. How can a Christian, I'm talking to you, carry his hand, apply for a job of 25,000? Are you okay? That money cannot even take you home. That it will finish you. What reduces your identity to that place is because you don't even believe in yourself again now. You don't believe in yourself anymore. You don't feel you're worthy. You start losing your self-worth and start thinking like you're small. And when you're small, nobody can help you. Because as a man thinking in his heart, so easy. So instead we go and change that thinking again and say, see, you are not small. You are big. You can be in charge. That is the only way you can stand up on your feet. Tell them again, neighbor. A child that's afraid to fall will never walk. Tell them, he that has brain, sense is expected. So only listen to me very well. Only the things you can do is to go to church, pray, come back, go back again. You know, you're not gonna walk. So the philosophy meant that you're gonna mass produce so many religious about dumb and dumbers, and they don't believe in anything. On the assignment, their purpose on earth, they neglect everything because this is not meant for me. They leave every industry, business, they leave them. Economy institution, they leave them. Okay, they leave them. They leave for the unbelievers, and what are telling us the economy is bad. Why wouldn't it be bad? If you and I know 1 6 feet, that's the problem. So stand up today, believe in yourself. The journey of faith as an entrepreneur is a journey from exodus to inversion, from relationship to leadership, sonship, childhood to sonship. Then you can grow up into maturity to take the stand on your feet to be in charge. This is where you are going to become the center of influence. You're going to be fulfilling God's dominion mandate for your life. Through discipleship and mentorship are training you to reign, not training you to become a slave. You don't learn, you learn to reign, you learn to be in charge. So what am I trying to say today? Me and you need to stand up and say, we need this mountain, we need this industry, we need this business. God give it to me like the way Joshua talked. Until now you stand up like you know go walk. But this thing is that we can't disengage. We must engage in the face of men to make a difference. Every place my feet shall go, and God will give it to us. So the philosophy is not migration. As a child of God, the philosophy as an entrepreneur is not migration. So think of what to do to improve lives and property. This is a mindset and a personal philosophy that says, I want the biggest and the best in any industry I find myself. Not for you to be damaged virus in your brain to think that you are not good enough. So our priorities involve engagement, expansion to teach and train future leaders that will go into politics, business, organization to make a difference. Tell them, I'm here to make a difference. So we have options. The option is outline, the next outline. Insulation or isolation. Which one do you want? Insulation or isolation? Which one do you want? So tomorrow I'll give you the note for insulation. The while I give you the insulation, you now understand that we are so intentional, we are so deliberate in the marketplace. We are not just entrepreneurs in the marketplace just to make money. Because we know money cannot fulfill what it promises. We know that money is a bad master and a loyal servant. So we want money to serve us. So we are in the marketplace to create value, solve problems. Because we know once we do this, money will follow us. So we don't look for money, we look for value. Money will follow us. Tell neighbor, don't look for money. Look for value. Become valuable. Money will look for you. That is the best you can take today. I really should have the luxury of time for take all this my notes. I just have to skip so many things. So tomorrow, I'll wrap up this class because by Monday, I have another training for you. That training will launch you to the next level. To the next level. But this is the best you can take today. So online community, don't get involved in a business without a mentor. Because mentorship is a legal shortcut to success. He that stands on the shoulder of mentors will see far. See you tomorrow. See you at the top. Have a wonderful day. God bless you. Shalom. That is the best you can take today.